Tianwu Continent, Daxia Dynasty, Yuzhou Road, Zhenbei Palace. The Zhenbei Palace is luxurious and magnificent, yet also has a martial spirit. This mansion covers an area of hundreds of acres and has high walls and fortifications. It can be said to be a city within a city. Almost one-third of the land in the mansion is occupied by martial arts training grounds. Because it is located in the frontier, except for one side against the mountain that does not need to be decorated, the other three sides are surrounded by solid walls. It has corner piers, parapets, and shooting holes. There are also multi-story corner towers with guards watching day and night. It looks exactly like a castle. It also has fields and ponds inside, so it is not afraid of being besieged by enemies. Since its construction, it has repelled many attacks by assassins and spies. At this time, on the training ground of Zhenbei Palace. With a bang sound, the arrowhead flew straight into the center of the bull's eye 100 steps away like a rainbow. Han Shenxing stood in the center of the shooting range holding a bow with a smile on his face. Without further ado, Han Shenxing pulled out 3 arrows from the quiver and clamped them between his left palm and the bow arm, with the arrowhead pointing downward and the feathers pointing upward, slightly tilted. This was done to make it easier to string the bow and save a lot of time. He pulled out an arrow with his right hand and quickly put it on the string, then shot it. He pulled again and shot again. His movements were smooth and rhythmic, coordinated with his unique breathing method. 3 arrows were shot in succession and all hit the target. He calculated in his mind that it took him about 5 seconds to shoot 3 arrows. His best record would be even faster, but there is always a trade-off. This shooting method was fast, but it couldn't shoot far. Your Highness has already mastered the essence of rapid shooting. It seems that today's luck is good. Then let's try the other 8 shots of the 9 shots in foot combat. There are 9 types of shooting in infantry combat, which are divided into standing shooting, crouching shooting, kneeling shooting, bending waist shooting, bow shooting, turning back shooting, walking shooting, running shooting, and sitting shooting. These 9 shooting techniques encompass all kinds of changes on the battlefield and are skills that the archers of the Zhenbei army must master. I used the remaining 8 methods to shoot and all of them hit the target. The only regret was that half of them missed the bull's eye. It seems that my strength still needs to be improved, but it is not so easy to improve strength. The method of cultivating strength is to explore the secrets of the blood and meridians in the body. Moreover, I am still a young prince. If I want to improve my ability in this area, I can only consider the bloodbath body tempering that my father mentioned. In other worlds, there are naturally some special methods to hone oneself and increase strength. Although there are hundreds of boats competing with each other and thousands of paths competing for supremacy in the Tianwu continent, the most brilliant path is still martial arts. In ancient times, the divine way was cut off and all other ways declined. The martial arts, which were insignificant back then, are now completely different from what they used to be, and the world is now the most suitable place to practice martial arts. After countless predecessors' explorations, martial arts reached its peak and were said to be able to communicate with gods, which laid a solid foundation for the prosperity of martial arts. Since ancient times, people have valued martial arts, and exercising is a common thing. Nowadays, physical exercise is also an indispensable process, because the body is the capital of revolution. It can be said that this era is more splendid than any previous era. It is not only a magnificent epic unprecedented in history, but also a great legend unmatched in the future. In this world of infinite possibilities, everyone has the opportunity to create their own brilliance. And realm has become an important criterion for measuring the strength of outstanding people, motivating them to constantly break through themselves and pursue higher achievements. According to what he has learned over the years, in Tianwu continent, martial arts are divided into internal and external skills. Most martial artists in the Jianghu practice internal skills, while warriors in the army focus on external skills. The difference between internal power and external power is that the training systems are different. One is a system of cultivating moderate and peaceful internal power, while the other is a system of cultivating bloody evil for killing on the battlefield. For those who practice external skills, physical training is important. They may have unparalleled combat power, but this cannot last long. After the age of 50, the body's functions will gradually decline and the combat power will also decline. Those who practice internal skills have a long and deep aura, a long peak period, and can comprehend the nature of heaven and earth. Most of those who practice internal skills live long lives. In general, the internal force system lasts and points are added evenly, while the military commander system focuses all points on physical body and attack power. Those who practice external skills pursue unparalleled combat power. They are basically fierce generals fighting on the battlefield. They only want to be appointed as generals and be granted titles of nobility. A few decades of peak combat power are enough for a general to make great achievements and enter the temple. What's more, when warriors practice external skills, their blood and qi naturally carry bloody evil spirits, and those who practice internal force will comprehend the spiritual power of heaven and earth, and will be severely restrained by the evil spirits. Therefore, when a cultivator with internal force and a warrior of the same level fight for life and death, the warrior will be able to pin the cultivator to the ground and hammer him, and in the end it will be the cultivator with internal force who will die. Of course, there are also many who practice both internal and external cultivation. Especially for famous and wealthy families like the zhenbei palace, the martial arts they practiced have the effect of cultivating both inside and outside, but the emphases are different. Han Yu, the king of Zhenbei, who has received mixed reviews in both the government and the martial arts world, is a meritorious military official who has obtained everything except the throne. Among the 3 regions of Zhenbei, he is the undisputed master, able to control everything at will. Many years ago, King Han Yu of Zhenbei personally led his cavalry, carrying the imperial edict and the Shangfeng sword, to crush dozens of restless martial arts sects in several parts of the Great Xia dynasty. For example, the unruly Baohua villa was directly reduced to ashes. Finally, except for a few sets of secret books in the villa's armory which were symbolically handed over to the palace, the rest were confiscated into the treasury of Prince Zhenbei's palace. It can be said that there are tens of thousands of books and countless rare and unique copies in the treasury. Besides, although this world has no immortals, gods, ghosts, or monsters, it is just a world for ordinary people. However, in Han Shenxing's memory, this world was a place where literature and morality flourished, and various schools of thought where prevalent martial arts flourished, and various powerful people emerged one after another. Of course, although this world has some high-level martial arts elements, it does not have the realm of one person massacring a city or flying into the sky and escaping into the ground. Generally speaking, no matter how powerful a warrior is, he has to submit in front of the army and cannot compete with an entire army. 75. It is also because of this that the Zhenbei Palace has held the highest ruling power in Zhenbei Road for 100 years. Next, all the schools of thought and martial arts sects must act within the rules of the Zhenbei Palace. If they refuse to obey, the cavalry will be sent to suppress them. In addition to various magical information, what Han Shenxing is most excited about is: which man doesn't have a martial spirit? Which man doesn't yearn to conquer the world with his martial arts? Han Shenxing is looking forward to this world. Just thinking about it makes people look forward to it and their hearts are filled with excitement. Just as the seed in Han Shenxing's heart was beginning to be watered by the rain and was taking root, sprouting and growing vigorously, a long-lost reminder sound suddenly rang in his ears. Finally come. Han Shenxing is speechless. Ding dong, congratulations. Ding dong, the system is restarting, the progress is 10%, 20%, 30%. 17 years, 17 years. System, do you know how I have spent these 17 years? Hearing that the system came alive, Han Shenxing suddenly became excited. Ding dong. Host, stop making trouble. The system is just asleep, not dead. Moreover, without this system, hasn't the host lived a comfortable life in the past 10 years? How could his 17 years have been more than comfortable? It's like the Queen Mother's magic hand, she can get whatever she wants. When he first came to this world, he was a little uncomfortable to adapt, but as time went by, he has gradually adapted to it. After all, the life of a prince is happier than you can imagine. However, Han Shenxing was also quite happy at the moment. After all, obtaining a cheating device like the system meant that he would rise strongly, so Han Shenxing was still a little excited in his heart. I want to ask, what are your specific functions? 77. This system is a summoning system that can view the attributes of anyone. The host can use this system to summon civil officials and generals to help him fulfill his wish of unifying the continent. Oh, a system of hegemony. What are the range of characters that can be summoned? The system can summon any historical figures from Blue Star, characters from novels, storytelling, unofficial history, characters from all kinds of novels, or even immortals and ghosts from mythology to help you conquer the world. Han Shenxing closed his eyes, but his shaking body and rapidly beating heart could not hide his immense excitement and ecstasy. He can finally see the elegance and might of our Chinese generals in another world. By the way, how are the levels of summoned characters divided? Ding dong, third-rate talent, attributes 60 to 69 or third-rate internal strength. First-class talent, attributes 80 to 89 or first-class internal strength level of force. Top-notch talents, 90 to 99 martial arts attributes, 90 to 94 other attributes or innate inner strength level martial arts. Heavenly talent, attributes 100 to 104 for force, 95 to 99 for other attributes or master level force. God level talents, God commander, God general, godly man, godly planner, godly appearance. Attributes 105 to 110 force, 100 to 105 other attributes or God level internal strength force. In addition, internal martial artists can be divided into early, middle, late and peak realms according to the level of their internal strength. Among them, there is a half-step celestial being between the Grandmaster realm and the celestial being. According to legend, there is still a limit to the peak of heavenly beings. So how do I summon a character? Ding, summoning points are used to summon. Ding, summoning points are used to summon system talents. 80 summoning points can summon third-rate talents, 90 summoning points can summon second-rate talents, 100 summoning points can summon first-rate talents, 120 summoning points can summon super first-rate talents, 150 summoning points can summon heaven-level talents, and God-level talent summoning cards can only be obtained by the host completing tasks. In addition, summoning point hosts can be obtained by completing tasks or killing enemies. If you kill a third-rate or higher talent, you will gain 1/10 of their highest peak attribute. It seems that this system is quite interesting. What's the price? He still understands that there is no free lunch in the world. Ding dong, the fortune of this continent is currently being upgraded, and it will soon usher in a golden age of chaos. This chaos is the biggest chaos in the Tianwu continent from ancient times to the present. It is also the most prosperous golden age of the Tianwu continent. Countless geniuses will emerge, and the purpose of the system is to assist the host in competing for supremacy in the golden age of chaos. As the price of summoning, the system will also balance the many emperors and princes who have intruded into the history of Blue Star, and the kings, princes, and generals will be born, so that they can contribute to the upgrading of the world with their fortune. Anyone who achieves great things in troubled times has a certain degree of divine blessing. Simply put, it is good luck. To put it in a more lofty way, it can also be called good fortune. The stronger the luck, the faster your strength will improve, and when you encounter danger, your luck can also give you a warning and help you survive. The matter of fate and destiny may seem illusory, but in fact, in short, it is the will of the people. When the time comes, heaven and earth will work together. On the contrary, when the destiny is no longer accepted by heaven, the hero will lose his freedom and all things will come to an end. Even many advanced cultivation worlds are not clear about the role of luck, and don't even understand whether this legendary thing called luck actually exists. Even in the ancient world, one of the top worlds in the alien universe, those saints standing at the top of the universe had to plan one battle after another for luck. This is true even in the heavens and all worlds. In order to fight for luck, bloody storms can be set off, and even wars that sweep across the heavens and all worlds can be launched. However, even in the repeated struggles for luck, the saints have never figured out the true role of luck. With their vision, they can naturally see that the role of luck is more than that, but they are still not clear about the ultimate role of luck. But as long as you have enough luck, even if you are involved in a terrible cause and effect, you can turn misfortune into good fortune and turn disaster into blessing. Even the laws of nature cannot interfere with such existence at will. You can imagine the importance of luck. In other words, along with my summons, the system will also balance out other characters to appear in this world? Han Shenxing raised his eyebrows and said thoughtfully. Ding. Yes, but please rest assured, host, the overall quality of the balanced characters and the characters carried will definitely not exceed the quality of the host summoned by much. There won't be a situation where several heroes with heavenly attributes are summoned, and then several heroes with godly attributes are born as a result, or there will be a situation where the quality of the characters carried is relatively high. Moreover, for the outstanding people who are born in balance, most of the characters they carry will be distributed to other princes. There will never be a situation where the balanced characters and the characters they carry rush into one force all at once. After listening to the system's explanation, Han Shenxing is no longer opposed to intrusion. You have to pay a corresponding price for what you get. However, the general trend of the world is that after a long period of division, there will be unification, and after a long period of unification, there will be division. It is time for the world to be unified again. Thinking of this, Han Shenxing couldn't help but feel a little more excited. The golden age of chaos is an opportunity. After some systematic explanation, Han Shenxing finally figured out the basic rules of this summoning system. By the way, as a system, you should have the same functions as other systems, such as, novice gift packs or something? Ding. It is detected that the host has a novice gift pack. Would the host like to open it? Turn it on, of course. Han Shenxing replied without hesitation. Oh. A gift pack for new members? I'm a little excited. In the past, I played a game called Glory of the King, and the chance of winning a skin was 99%. I was so lucky that I won the skin. Don't make it too easy. Hurry up and get the gift bag. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for winning. Ding ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining 300 summoning points, a character 10 draw bonus, a character creation card, a random summoning card, a top skill summoning card, and a top technique volume. 10 consecutive draws? Fuck. You're so arrogant at the beginning. System, are you sure you are a summoning system and not a super rich system? Han Shenxing was shocked by the generosity of the system. The systems in the novels of the past were all very stingy, which made people feel very uncomfortable when reading them. My system is awesome. As soon as he came up, without saying a word, he gave himself a 10 consecutive summoning package. It's so cool. Without any hesitation, Han Shenxing continued. System, use 10 consecutive summon. Start summoning. Han Shenxing's eyes lit up and he couldn't wait. The novice 10 consecutive summons have begun. The draw is in progress. Please wait. Summoning, please wait. Ding, congratulations to the host, the first 10 consecutive summons, triggering the good luck. Boom. Above the 9 heavens, the wind and clouds suddenly changed, and 10 extremely bright meteors streaked across the sky above the great Xia dynasty. 10 gold. 10 gold. 10 gold. With a 10 consecutive summon, 10 purple gold level god level characters were directly drawn. He was definitely possessed by the Emperor of Luck. You must know that according to the system rules, only those with a military strength of 105 or above or a wisdom and political power of 100 or above are worthy of being called a god. The first person, Wulong, Wuhou Zhuge Liang, military power, 58, command, 98, intelligence, 101, politics, 101, charm, 101. Source, Romance of the Three Kingdoms. 76. Implanted identity, a disciple of the Confucian minor sage Shuang, who also studies the teachings of the legalist, Mahist, and diplomatic schools. He was invited by Sun Guan, the Grand Secretary of Zhenbei Prefecture, and is currently a guest in Zhenbei Prefecture. Hiss. Zhuge Liang. Han Shenxing's eyes suddenly became bright, his body shook slightly, and his face could not remain calm at all. A hint of excitement immediately emerged. I didn't expect that it would be Wu Hou who appeared. After a long time, Han Shenxing took a deep breath and managed to calm the turbulent emotions in his heart. Second person, the god of destroying nations Su Lai, military strength, 100, command, 102, intelligence, 90, politics, 75, charisma, 97 period, late Sui and early Tang. Carrying character, Su Yong. Implanted identity, the son of Su Yong, the guard of Zhenbei Prefecture. He is brave and strong, with extraordinary courage. His ancestors were outsiders who flowed into Yuzhou Road and lived a miserable life due to their identity. 10 years ago, his father Su Yong was fortunately appreciated by the host and recruited as a guard. The family has since prospered, so he is loyal to the host and now serves as the host's guard. The Su Lai in historical records is not a clown like in the novels and plays. According to official history, Su Dingfang conquered the Western Turks, pacified the Pamirs, destroyed Beech, and attacked Goryeo. He conquered the three kingdoms and captured their leaders alive and presented the captives to the Zhaoling Mausoleum, which had a far-reaching influence. Later, he was engraved in the Lingyan Pavilion and enshrined in the Temple of Martial Arts. Historians praised him for his divine strategy, heroic plan, assistance in pacifying the country, and success from beginning to end. It can be said that he was the strongest commander in foreign wars in Eastern history. The third person, the founding hero of the Western Zhou dynasty, the Saint Ji Dan, military strength, 80, command, 96, intelligence, 103, politics, 104, charm, 103. Period, Western Zhou dynasty. Implanted identity, the grandson of Ji Xian, an old generation strategist in the Zhenbei Palace. Because of his intelligence and fame at a young age, the Zhenbei king ordered him to be the host's companion. He is currently one of the host's staff. Zhou Gong spit feeding, the world is home. How many years has the ritual and music system been passed down? A pillar of a country, with these four magnificent qualities, perhaps the only one who could surpass him politically was Guanzhong. The fourth person, sun, moon, star god, king of all wars Lu Jiao, force, 109, command, 95, intelligence, 85, politics, 74, charisma, 93. Source, struggle for hegemony in another world, battle of hundreds of races. Carrying character, Lu Yi. Implanted identity, the son of Lu Yi, an aide to the Zhenbei Palace of the Great Xia dynasty. He is a young talent that the Zhenbei Palace focuses on training for the host, and is currently one of the host's personal guards. Any novel about summoning from another world will have talents belonging to its own world. Lu Jiao is a martial arts genius favored by heaven in the novel Battle of 100 Races, and he is destined to become one of the few most dazzling figures on the road of martial arts. He fought against Uriel, one of the four archangels, and instantly killed Sima Shanggu, who was known as the world-weary and violent god and had a basic martial arts strength of 107. He easily controlled Lu Bu Lu Fengxian, who had burned the fruit of the god, and then shot and killed Chakra, one of the 8 commanders of the imperial guards who possessed extreme strength, with one arrow, showing his invincibility. LTE Plus 76. The fifth person, Emperor Yao's archery master, the sun-shooting god Dei, military power, 109, command, 69, intelligence, 73, politics, 47, charm, 86. Period, ancient. Characters carried, Yali, Zhaoqi, Jiuying, Dafeng, Fingxi, Xiuxia. Implanted identity. A savage whom the host met in childhood. He was accidentally accepted as a disciple by a hermit master. Now he has come out of the mountains and learned that the host is the son of the king of Zhenbei, so he comes to help. In Chinese mythology, the word Yi represents divine archery. He shot down 9 suns, killed 6 monsters, and ruled the world. Basically, his name was synonymous with archery. It can be said that he was the strongest archer. It seems that this destiny is really with me. Once a general in this world reaches the late stage of the divine general realm, it is very difficult to kill him. Even if such a general cannot fight against 10,000 enemies alone, it is not difficult for him to break through the encirclement of the army if he has no scruples. Even if there are warriors of the same realm trying to stop him, it is difficult to stop him as long as he is determined to escape. Han Xinxing now has Dai, a powerful general who is capable of threatening enemies of the same level from a long distance. He will definitely be the strongest god general killer under Han Xinxing in the future. And the fact is indeed just as Han Xinxing thought. On the way to conquer the world in the future, countless late-stage gods died under Dai's sun-shooting bow. Even the peak-level gods had shed blood under Dai's bow. The 6th person, one of the 3 heroes of the early Han dynasty, Marquis of Huayin, Han Xian, military strength, 86, command, 104, intelligence 98, politics, 66, charm, 90. Period, early Western Han dynasty. Carrying character, Kuai Tong. Implanted identity, the host's second brother. Intelligent since childhood, and passionate about military theory. 10 years ago, when he was traveling in the capital, he was spotted by the former chief of the military strategists and accepted as his close disciple. He is outstandingly talented and is the leader of the young generation of the 4 forces of military strategists. Together with the leaders of the other 3 forces, he is respected as one of the 4 young heroes of military strategists. He has now left for the expedition and is returning to Zhenbei Prefecture. When the 6th person's name appeared, Han Xinxing's eyes suddenly lit up. During the Chuhan period, there were many brilliant generals, but Han Xian was undoubtedly the most outstanding military strategist of that period. Han Xian was such a great man who brought the art of war to the pinnacle. Use troops like a god. Soldier immortal. Use troops like a god. So handsome. Throughout the 5,000 years of Chinese history, there have been generals who have led armies as numerous as carp crossing the river, and there have been countless amazing generals who can stand at the top. But there is no doubt that Han Xian, the military genius, is at the top of the pack and among the top 5 commanders. This is an invincible general in the art of war. There is no way, in the chaotic times, there is a famous general like Han Xian. It's never too much anyway. 7th person, Duke of Agua of the Tang dynasty, General Yu Wuho, who can seize spears and break through the enemy lines, and defeat millions of enemies. Yuqi Jingde, military strength, 108, command, 88, intelligence, 72, politics, 54, charm, 96. Period, late Sui and early Tang. Carrying characters, Yuqi Jia, Lu Wuzhou. Implanted identity, Yuqi Gong, the most talented martial artist among the younger generation of the Yuqi family, a down-and-out noble family in Beiming. His tribe moved south to seek refuge in Daxia Zhenbei mansion due to a snowstorm on the grassland, and Yuqi Gong followed them. When the host followed his father to inspect the military camp, he found that he had extraordinary martial arts and was loyal, so he asked his father to let him be his bodyguard. He currently leads the host's personal guards. Yuqi Gong, courtesy named Jingde, joined the army in Gaoyang in the last years of the Sui dynasty and was famous for his bravery in conquering bandits. When Yuqi Gong is mentioned, many people first think of the Yuqi Gong in the novels of the Sui and Tang dynasties. Although Yuqi Gong is famous, his fighting ability in the novels is really not up to his performance in history. If Li Yuanba in the novels of the Sui and Tang dynasties is Li Shiman's strongest fighter, then Li Shiman's #1 fighter in history is Yuqi Jingde. He single-handedly killed Shan Xiongxin, a brave general under Wang Shiyu, and protected Li Shiman from breaking out of the encirclement. He even captured Qin Zixu alive, and the 6,000-man Lance Army force, fearing his bravery, all surrendered. Sometimes, it is not possible to determine whether a general is a brave one just by looking at the number of people he has killed. Take the famous 100-man killer, for example. Although there is no record of Yu Qigong killing 100 people by himself, he was able to charge into the enemy camp alone and move back and forth without hindrance. The Old Book of Tang even records that when Li Shimin saw that Wang Wan, the brother of Wang Shichong, was riding the BMW of Emperor Yang Guang of the Sui dynasty, he spoke with fondness. Yu Qigong immediately led Gao Zongxing and Liang Jianfang into the enemy army and captured Wang Wan alive, then returned to their camp with his horse. None of the bandits dared to stop them. 73. This shows his courage and bravery. As the saying goes, if you don't have enough courage, you won't dare to go to Liangshan. If Yu Qigong did not have enough courage, how could he be safe every time for such a bold move? Doesn't this just represent that he is a rare and peerless warrior in the world? Even Li Shimin said, I hold the bow and arrow, and you hold the spear and follow me. Even if there are millions of people, what can they do to me? This shows his trust in Yu Qigong and his recognition of his prowess. Yu Qigong was not only famous for his bravery, but also for his record of killing generals, capturing generals, and charging into battle alone. There is also a record of him killing generals in a duel. The Old Book of Tang records that when the Turks arrived in Jingyang, Jingda led a light cavalry to challenge them, killed their famous general, and the bandits were defeated. If in the history department, Xiongyu is known as unparalleled throughout the ages and is undoubtedly the most powerful person in terms of martial arts, then Yu Qigong can definitely follow closely behind him and may even be able to compete with Xiongyu. Just take Ran Min, who now has a huge number of fans. It is recorded that he is brave and powerful, with extraordinary courage. However, compared with Yu Qigong, both of them were famous for their bravery, but Ran Min's bravery was far inferior to Yu Qigong's. First, there is no way to kill the general, and second, there is no way to charge into the battle line. What is more crucial is that Ran Min's so-called killing 100 men record is just a sentence that he killed more than 300 zhenbei people. If someone thinks that this means Ran Min killed more than 300 zhenbei cavalry alone, it is really ridiculous. After all, it is later recorded that Ran Min was outnumbered. He led the army to kill more than 300 people and it was attributed to his own efforts. However, there are records in the Old Book of Tang that Shui Renggui killed more than 10,000 people. Doesn't this mean that Shui Renggui killed and captured more than 10,000 people alone? Then Ding Feng, who was recorded in the Book of Wu in the records of the Three Kingdoms, was also recorded as a young general with bravery and was also famous for his bravery. He rode a horse and held a spear, broke into the enemy's formation, and beheaded hundreds of people. Doesn't that mean Ding Feng killed hundreds of people by himself? If Ran Min can become a general with a force of 107 or 108 because of this record, then Ding Feng is also a general of the same level. Shouldn't Shui Renggui be given a force of 120? How could Ran Min have 108 military strength? Why did the historical Yu Qijingda keep saying that the historical Yu Qigong was strong, but only gave him 104 military strength, and why was he not as good as Ran Min? It's really ridiculous. The eighth person, Emperor Armor. Spokesperson of Heaven Wan Shangyang. Force, 110, Command, 86, Intelligence, 80. Politics, 75. Source, Sci-Fi Special Drama Armor Hero. Implanted Identity. The host childhood book boy playmate, who was accepted as a disciple by a supreme elder of the Taoist Tianzong several years ago. He has now returned after completing his studies and believes that the host is the master of destiny, and is on his way to the Zhenbei Palace. 73. The power of the Emperor Armor comes from the entire heaven and earth, and its power is said to be infinitely powerful. It represents the power of the king, possesses the power of the 5 elements bestowed by the earth consciousness, and possesses the power of the sun in the solar system. It is the representative of the heavenly sun in the Armor worldview. He has many special moves, and the ultimate one is the Emperor's demon-slaying annihilation slash, which can end the life of the strongest boss in an instant. Cao Batch. The ninth person, 13 Tai Bao, the brave southern duke who protects the country. Li Tsuanxiao, military strength, 110, command, 86, intelligence, 79, politics, 67. Source: The Romance of the Late Tang and Five Dynasties. Characters: Li Qiang and Xiuxiu, Shuiatan, He Heihu, Shui Taizhan, Li Hanji, Fu Tsuanshen, Li Tsuanlong, Li Tsuanhu, Li Tsuanbao, Li Tsuanshou, Kongjuanli, Li Tsuanxin, Li Siyuan, Li Sizhao, Li Kungsu, Li Tsuanji, Li Tsuanjiang, Li Tsuanhai. Implanted identity: the bravest young warrior of the Shatua tribe, a vassal of the Zhenbei palace. He practiced the clan's secret method of taishiheng at a young age and reached the realm of great success. Later, he was chosen by a Confucian guardian to be his disciple, and learned the true teachings from him, becoming proficient in both ways. After leaving school, he followed the order of the Shatua tribe leader and led 3,000 Shatua warriors to fight for Zhenbei prefecture. Li Tsuanxiao. The three big characters directly shook the entire system space, causing Han Shenxing to tremble all over, with his eyes flashing with an extremely bright light. This is an invincible general who can rival Li Yuanba and contend with the overlord. The 10th person, Guangko Divine King, Xianxing Zhenjuan, Erlangshan Yang Jian, Force, 109, Command, 90, Intelligence, 86, Politics, 72, Charm, 99. Source: Journey to the West. Characters: Kang Anyu, Zhang Bashi, Li Huanzhang, Yao Gonglin, Zhijian, Guoshen, Yang Chan, Yang Jiao. Implanted identity: the second son of Yang Sun, a general of the Zhenbei army who fights against the pests, known as Yang Erlang. He showed outstanding martial arts talent since childhood and was accepted as a disciple by a Taoist master. He recently completed his training and went down the mountain to assist his master. He currently follows his elder brother Yang Ning and his sworn brother Tan Tai to serve under the host. Yang Jian's strength is first reflected in his own strength. Although he did not appear much in Journey to the West, he was stunning enough. First of all, he is handsome. In Chapter 6, it is described that he has a handsome appearance, with ears that hang down to his shoulders and bright eyes. Secondly, he was experienced in combat. He once chopped down Peach Mountain with an axe to save his mother, and shot down 2 phoenixes in Luo Mountain with a bow. He was famous for killing 8 monsters, and he formed a sworn